Minister Pillay is demanding answers from his officers. He wants to know why a suspected drug dealer in Chatsworth was allowed to continue operating for years without a conviction. Yaganathan Pillay, known as Teddy Mafia, was gunned down on Monday. An angry mob then beheaded two people believed to have been responsible.
I still have a question that I raised with the police, that if this guy was known to be a non-gangster and a drug dealer, why was he still out there? This is what the community and all of us were calling to say, don't deal with these small fish, don't deal with the men on the street here, deal with the real guys. That it happened, that somebody killed them and they were killed. I'm very sure if we have acted as the police do what we're supposed to do, we shouldn't have had a chain reaction that happened yesterday. But there is investigation going on. We'll be getting the report, and I hope, and I've called, that more of the top guys on drugs must be arrested.
Let's chat some more now about this shocking story with Sam Pillay. He's from the Anti-Drug Forum in the area. Sam, a very good morning to you. And I suppose, yes, that question, the police minister wanting to know how could this be allowed to go on. Often, and I'm not saying it's all police officers, but often we see the police officers in the area are too scared, or they are in the suspect's pocket. So from your experience, what's been going on here? Why was it allowed to carry on for as long as it was?
Well, we asked the same question, Yuveka, over and over again. We even met with the Deputy Minister of Justice last year with a community dialogue where we asked him the same questions. And this guy, he wasn't just caught once or twice, but many times over. And seasoned investigators actually carried out the investigation to make sure that there's a conviction will happen. But nothing happens. After every time he's arrested, whether it's possession of drugs or illegal firearms or having a whole lot of cash and jewelry, he just get away with it. He seems to be a law unto himself. He just pays his way, files disappear, and it's been going on for years and years and years. And I'm glad that the Minister of Police is asking these questions now. And hopefully that something must come out of this. You know, we must look at the other cases as well that just disappears. There are other cases as well with drug dealers that just don't go all the way. Well, you know,
Sam, to what extent is the community
we have conviction and the shops closed?
To what extent is the community complicit in this, Sam? I mean, in terms of protecting, because often we know when it comes to drug kingpins, when it comes to, you know, criminals of this nature in the community, they give and they take. They donate. They seem to be generous towards community causes. In this case, things like temples, or whether it is, you know, helping somebody with getting their kids through school or whatever it is. So, to what extent does the community itself allow this to carry on and protect those who eventually might lead to their own deaths anyway?
No, absolutely. That is the modus operandi of these big drug dealers. They actually support the community that they live in. They will provide the hampers, they provide the food on a daily basis. They provide the tent for the funeral. They will pay for electricity for people that cannot afford it. So they have the people in their pocket. So people feel obligated to support him. And you'll be shocked at the support that he has. They will support him to a point where they will chase the police away. The whole mob in the area will chase the police away, you know, on the drug dealer side, not the community side. So it is quite scary. So they win the support of the people, and like you said, donate money to the temples, mosques, and churches and so on, schools as well in a local area, just to win the support of people and to be claiming to be this nice saint-like guy.
So what's happening there as we speak this morning? It's been about 2 days since this happened. I mean, the gruesome nature of what we saw there, the speculation that I've been reading about and hearing about. Of course, these are rival gangs. This is a gang rivalry. There was another group that seemed to be celebrating after this had happened. And surely this cannot be the end of the saga, that there is going to be some kind of retaliation. There's going to be some kind of fallout or aftermath from what we saw happening on Monday.
No, absolutely. This is just a new beginning. This started years ago. In the turf war, two rival gangs will be at each other. Many lives were lost on both sides already. And now that the Teddy Mafia is gone, it's going to intensify. I think it will intensify because the big boy is gone, and they're not going to be taking this lying down. They already declared war again. Although the war was declared, but they declared war again. And there's going to be more that's following, very likely, very soon. And yeah, it is so sad that, we reduced to this level. If you saw those videos of people being decapitated in presence of young children and women, I just worried about the psychological impact it has on these kids in that area, growing up in that kind of environment on an ongoing basis. This is not a once-off thing. It happened over and over again. What happens to that community where this happens on a regular basis?
Yeah.
It has long-term psychological impact as well. And something has to be done. I'm glad the Minister of Police is showing some interest, and let's hope after this, that intensify as well. It will shut these people down, and we can help that as well.
So what is within your power as the Anti-Drug Forum, other organizations like yours, similar to yours, Sam? And we're not just looking at Chatsworth, we're looking at other areas as well in KZN where this is happening. What can you do? What can you do? Because like you say, without the community's cooperation, it's very difficult to get to these guys.
No, it's easier, Yuveka. It's not the matter of getting to them. It's what happens when you get to them. The conviction. That's not happening. You'll find there's a breakdown in the process, after the arrest, whether it gets to court, whether it's successful conviction, whether it's successful putting him in jail, not just him or any of these drug dealers. That's not happening. I don't know of any drug dealer that was arrested and was convicted and are sitting in jail today. There's nobody. And there are so many drug dealers.
Yeah.
And we have to question that. We have to get back to basics. Why is the case?
Yeah.
Why is it the case?
So I suppose
we have to do something different.
So Sam, I suppose the police minister is right to want answers from his officers and then wherever this leads further up, because that is where the problem is. So what are you advocating for in that sense? What is your next move as an organization of your nature? Yeah,
we are saying that there must be transparency. Every case that comes up, there must be accounted for. What happens to that case? Track it all the way. We tried to do that with the Department of Justice to no avail, but we have to intensify that to make sure that these cases are brought to fruition, to the end. The files disappear. Why are files disappearing? Why is watertight cases just fall by the wayside? Those kind of things that we need to have a monitoring. I think it's important to have a monitoring team to monitor these kind of cases especially.
Would it be...
maybe we will propose...
Sam, would it be a better idea to have officers or detectives who are not part of the community, who are not in that area? Because like we know happens, and like I said earlier, we know that a lot of the police officers themselves are scared for their lives, scared for their families. A lot of them are in the pockets of these criminals, that they may not be the best people to actually be leading these investigations. Would you want an outside team to come in, people who are not part of the community and have not been dealing with these guys for decades, to actually investigate and get justice here?
That would help. And I'd like to see a specialized unit, a passionate group of people from different SAPs, divisions, the Hawks, the SAPs, the Justice, all form a team and work together to deal with some of these cases that are difficult to deal with. You're not going to go to his house and find drugs. There are other ways of dealing with these guys. They have millions and millions of rands. Why aren't we looking at SARS? Are they compliant? Licensing people. So we must change our approach in how we deal with this. So there must be a very strong team comprising of all these different stakeholders, professionals, passionate people to take these people down. So we have to change our approach in how we deal with this.
Absolutely. All right, Sam Pillay, thank you so much. Undoubtedly, the community, they're bracing for something. The question is, when is the retaliation going to happen?